Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have not been on my channel for, I would say, months, but I just want to say that everything is okay with me, all is well with me. I just have not been posting any videos, and I was just thinking to myself how I need to get back on my channel, because when I first started my channel, I was talking about things like how to work your YouTube channel, and that if you really want people to kind of gravitate towards your channel, that you do need to be posting like consistently. That does not mean that you have to post every day, but you need to be working your channel if you want to kind of gain, possibly attract people to your channel, and for them to kind of check your channel out and kind of get a feel of what your channel is, in hopes of that they like your content and they can relate to your content, and that they can actually subscribe to your channel. But and sometimes, one thing I found out about me is that I have such an afterthought mindset, and sometimes when I do my videos and like I finish my videos, it's like so much other stuff kind of jumps into my mindset, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why couldn't I think of this, when I was on my channel actually doing a video on this topic. But it's just sometimes, what comes to your spirit can be more of providing more of an understanding of that, and it's not necessarily meaning that at that time and at that moment you need to share that. But I think it's more of just expanding and just providing that person with more of an understanding and more clarity. And that's what God will do. God just provides understanding. He provides clarity. And He's also a God that when He gives you something, He allows you to just think on that and ponder on that. And the result of that, more information is provided, because then you're able to expand on that and have more understanding. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you, at that time and at that moment, you need to be sharing that. But the reason why I wanted to get on here and do this video, I don't want this to be a really long video, is that today is Mother's Day. But my thing about it is, and I know somebody may think that maybe I'm just being uptight, or maybe I'm just taking this whole thing literally, and that's not really my case at all. But what I'm starting to understand, and I'm actually, it has not been too long ago that I actually tapped into this, and that what I'm starting to understand is that when you're a real mom, Mother's Day is every day. Like, it doesn't matter what a calendar says. When you are a real mom, and when you're really out here busting your butt to take care of your kids and to provide their overall needs, and even if you are a single mother and your family consists of you as that mother, you as the head of that household, and your children, then that's okay as well, because I have kids too, and I've pretty much been a single mom all of my life, because even though the father or the children's father may be present, and he may be present even in your children's lives, if you're not married, then you're considered an unmarried woman. You're considered a single mom. Even though those children's father or that child's father may be present and available in that child's life, if you're not married, then you're considered, to be a single mom. So I've never been married, and I have kids, and you just think on that, right? That when you're a real mom, you're working every day to provide for your children, because a lot of us as single moms and single mothers, is that when it comes to financially, it's like we have to hold that down for the most part completely. So it's like we're the head of the household. We got to provide for whatever the household needs, even providing the needs of your children. When you're a real mom and you're spending quality time with your children, and you're laughing and talking with them, and that you're sharing things with them, and you're trying to tap into how they're feeling and how they're doing, and spending quality time with them, having conversations with them, instilling knowledge in side of them, and providing great words of wisdom. So we do that every day as moms, and that there should not really be anything too special when it comes to a calendar saying Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? When people say things to me, it's not my intention to be uptight about this. It's just that real moms, I believe, understand what I'm saying, because it's not like we're not being a mom and then all of a sudden on Mother's Day we decide that we want to play mom and we want to be mom. But the truth of that is you have not really been a mom, so there should not, when you are a real mom every day and you're there and you're available and you're present in the lives of your children, and that you're actually coming into and you're tapping into trying to become a great mom, and what that looks like, and what that is like and how that looks like, then you're going to continue to become the best mother that you can possibly be. But just because the calendar says that it's Mother's Day, then there's nothing. Mother's Day does not add anything special to the fact is that I'm a real mom, and that I'm a good mom. I'm working to become a good mom or a better mom to my children, and that I'm a mother every day. So when Mother's Day come around, there's really nothing special, and things of that. But when people say things like Happy Mother's Day, same to you, Happy Mother's Day. When you're invited out to breakfast, can I take you out to breakfast for Mother's Day? I thank you for that. I appreciate that. You've been invited to a Mother's Day brunch. Thank you for the invitation. My plan or my intentions is to be there, but for us real moms, Mother's Day is every day. We don't choose to not be a mom, especially, when a lot of us, are single moms. And, when it comes to single parenting, sometimes people say things like, well, that was just a choice that you made. And one thing that I can say about me, this is kind of more of an extension of this conversation, and what I'm talking about right now is that what I didn't know then, I know now, because I was a young mom. Like, I was young when I had my kids. I was young. I had no guidance. I had no direction. I was out here sleeping around, unprotected sex. I wasn't married or anything, just sort of moving aimlessly, and moving carelessly, and oops, and it's a big oops, and now somebody is pregnant, and things of that. But one thing I found out about God is that there's always consequences to the choices that we make. There's good consequences, and there's bad consequences. And when I think of consequences, I think of the results that come from the choices. What is the result that comes from the choices that we make? And when we're out here just moving like that, sleeping around, you're getting pregnant, you're not married, you don't know if this man or the guy that you're pregnant by is going to be there, is going to be an active and present father, and then you look up and you're a single mom. Well, that's the consequence that's the result of the choice, that I made. But one thing I found out about God is I can't change the fact is that that's what I did, and that is what I did, and I can't change the fact is that I'm a single mom. But God provides the grace to endure. So it's sort of like, okay, God, I can't change the fact that I'm a single mom based on the choices that I made. But because I'm here, how can I become the best mom that I could possibly be, even in singleness, even being a single mom? It's not going to do me any good to play the blame game. It's not going to do me any good to house unforgiveness or resentment or hatred in my heart, because I know God is not pleased with that. If I'm housing those things in my heart, there's no way there's an activation or even the manifestation of the Holy Spirit within inside of me if I'm choosing to house anger and resentment. And the fact is that, He wasn't there. He wasn't a present father. He you chose to bail or chose to abandon, So if it is those situations, it's not going to do me any good to house that, because we have to know that bitter and sweet water cannot flow from the same fountain. So if I'm saying, God, if your spirit is inside of me, then I need to overcome unforgiveness for the sake of myself and for the sake of the relationship that Christ and I have. I have to let go of the anger, because God says, do not let the sun go down on your anger. And, scripture teaches us, it teaches us not to, have a grudge, or seek revenge after anybody. So it's like, God, I'm here and I'm a single parent and I'm a single mom, but every day you're showing me, how to discipline my children, and in that, and in result of that, they shall give me delight and rest. That I be a mother that is considered a safe space and a safe place for my children. That if they need to come talk to me, they're not going to be afraid. They're not going to be scared. And then it all starts in the home, and then we see our children stepping outside of the home, and then they're out there and, talking to any and everybody, but yet they're not in the household talking to the mother or talking to the father or talking to the parents. So me desiring to be that safe space and even being that safe place for my kids, that I'm listening to them and I'm hearing them out, and I may not even know what to say, like whatever they're talking to me about or whatever they're sharing with me. I may not be able to have an answer for them at that time, but it's just good to be quiet and just have a listening ear and saying, you know what? Thank you for talking to me about that. Thank you for telling me how you feel, because I didn't have that growing up. It's like how I felt is how I felt, and no one cares, What I said and what I had to say really didn't matter. So, it was like you weren't heard, and, it's like not being heard, okay, and also not being seen, So we have to understand that our children are human beings too, and we want to be that safe space and that safe place for them, where they're able to just, whatever they're going through, whatever they're encountering, whatever they're faced with, that I want to be a mom, and I encourage you as well to be that mom where you're just that safe space, and like we can talk, and things of that. A lot of times my son is showing me a lot of things on social media, a lot of stuff I'm not really interested in. Sometimes I'm in a certain headspace and it's like, that don't even matter, so I don't want to see it, I don't want to see it, or I'm not even going to comment on it, because that's not anything that I'm choosing to waste my time on. But I mean, he's a young man, and he has, TikTok and social media, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that sometimes I'm just not interested in that, you know what I'm saying? But just that I'm here, that God gives us the grace to endure, and say, because for a lifetime I'm a mother, and for a lifetime I will always be a mother, and I will always have to be present and available for and to my children. So just because a day on the calendar says it's Mother's Day, give me one moment. I've been kind of having a cough. I know you probably wonder, sorry about that, because wasn't expecting to be doing a video wiping my eyes and wiping my nose. But I've been drinking like tea and like mixed in with like vitamin C drops and like cough drops and stuff. And my voice, I actually have a voice, because at first I didn't have a voice, and this started on Friday evening. It's like all of a sudden but like last May, I had COVID. So I'm like, okay, this time around no COVID, but my voice had just decided that it just didn't want to work. So I know that's, you have to forgive me. I just didn't want to stop this video and then have to go back in and do a whole nother video. So if you can just understand and just bear with me, there's no harm intended. So I didn't want this to be a long video, and I just wanted to get on here and tell everybody, just have a great day. Just overall, just have a good day. Just have a great day. And whatever you have planned for this day, there's nothing wrong with that. But I know us real moms, every day is Mother's Day. And for a lifetime, every day will be Mother's Day. Until next time, you make sure you just enjoy your day. Just stay safe, stay prayed up. Because what I'm finding out is that God knows how to turn it around, and He turns it around in prayer. And just keep believing. Keep believing. Keep growing. Keep serving. And just grow. If you're a believer in the will of God and the things, of God, and that you take care of yourself until next time.